Okay, good evening, everybody.
Good evening, everybody.
Welcome to episode 40-something of the LegacyKnitz podcast. My name is Chelsea.
My name is Sue.
I am coming to you from Burlington, Vermont.
Vernon, Connecticut.
I'm the daughter.
I'm the mother.
And there you have it.
What's the date? Did we talk about the date?
We did not. Today is Monday, May 8th. I think we are at just about 2 weeks since our last podcast, which I'm very excited about.
Yay.
And we have a lot to talk to you guys about today.
That is the fun part, is I feel like we have a lot of things to share, which is so fun because some weeks we're like, oh, don't have a whole lot.
Yeah, this week definitely feels like we have a lot of fun things to talk about. And
well, we had 2 extremely busy weekends.
Extremely busy, yes.
2
in
of them.
Best ways. What's that?
2 of them in a row.
But it was so fun because we got to see each other 2 weekends in a row, which I can't even remember the last time that happened.
Me either. And we have 1 week and then we're back.
And then like 2 more weeks and then we're back again.
That's right. Oh my gosh. Time is flying.
We're going to literally turn around and the summer's going to be over.
And it hasn't even started.
It hasn't started.
Let's talk about it. 50 degrees.
It what?
It's freezing. It was like 50 something all day.
Oh, that would be warm compared to here. Here it's like low 40s.
It's ridiculous in May.
I know, it's crazy. It's just like I forget. I was looking at Instagram today and I think Gabby posted something and she said she was wearing like this beautiful outfit that she made and she was like spring in New England, or as we call it, first fall or something like that. And
well,
true.
Even did you notice the Maryland sheep and wool? A lot of the photographs, people were in hand knits. I think Saturday it was very chilly, which it could have been just the opposite. It could have been like shorts weather easily. Yeah.
Justin and I were just talking too, and we moved up here almost a year ago and a month. So we've been up here for 11 months. And the day we moved in, granted it was 4 weeks from now, but no, I guess it would have been 2 weeks from now. We were like drenched in sweat, like shorts, flip-flops, dying.
Oh yeah, because I came up a couple weeks later because he had to leave, and we were melting.
Literally, we walked down to Church Street and we were both beet red with like sweat.
Melting. So yeah, I don't know. I'm afraid it's going to go from this to melting.
I think you might be right.
And it kind of is jarring to my system. I need a little gradual.
I'm with you on that. I really like to enjoy, like my favorite, I am such an in-between seasoner. Like I'm not a huge summer fan. I like the winter, but it's not my favorite. I love fall and I love spring. They're my all-time favorites.
I totally agree with you.
Mm-hmm. The outfits are more comfortable.
Yeah, I'm kind of over wearing hand knits, to be honest with you. It's like, yeah, I'm done with that.
Yeah, I'm ready to throw on a cotton dress and flip-flops.
Yeah, I agree. But it's okay. I'm getting a lot of work done. Having said that, you will also, as a dyer, which you are now, holy cow, the hot weather is brutal.
I know. And you know
brutal.
Like,
I'm a little nervous because we started this business last July, so we've almost been a year. I think end of July was our first update.
You're right.
Yeah, I think. And oh my gosh, I think I started dyeing the hottest day of the year, the hottest week of the summer. It was brutal, and it's going to be brutal again. Having said that, though, I am lucky to have a pool in my backyard that I can dip in and out of. So I'm not, if only the chipmunks would go away. Okay, let's talk knitting. We have a lot to talk about.
Okay, let's talk knitting. Well, do you want to?
I think we should talk about the events that we've been at first.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
So last weekend, I traveled home for a long weekend, which was so much fun. Mom and I got to work together side by side for a couple of, really anytime we weren't doing fun things. I mean, it's all fun to us, but anytime we weren't working, anytime we weren't exploring, we were working. So we went to Stitches United which was
which was
super,
very fun, very good.
yeah.
But we only made it to the outskirts.
We have said this in so many episodes. We are
We're
not,
the worst.
we're the worst. We're not shoppers. I get so distracted. Go ahead. Were you going to
I
say?
get distracted and tired. It's like, oh, I'm tired. Let's go.
Yeah, we literally walked around the perimeter of the building, and then by the time we got back to the front, we both we were with my Ben's girlfriend Kristen as well, which was so much fun. She's like just getting her feet wet.
So,
Yeah, she's just getting her feet wet.
and she was just like starry eyed.
Yeah, yeah, she's
It
loving
felt,
it so far. She's we started
yeah.
teaching her how to knit, and she picked out a pattern there, and mom dyed her up some yarn, and it was super cool. So, but yeah, by the time we got back around to the front of the building, we all looked at each other and we were like, I think it's time to go.
Yeah, we were done. We also had a party to get to. We had other things going on that day. I think if we didn't have anything, it would have been different, but it was packing a lot into, well, let's just say it, a whole weekend.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. But it was fun. We at the Nice and Knit booth, which was really fun. They're local to us and we love their yarn, and it was really great to actually get to talk to them face to face. Trying to think of what other booths we stopped at. I'm so bad at this.
I am too. What was the booth that you guys got that gorgeous vest pattern and the yarn that Kristen's using?
Something Raven.
Oh, 10,000 Ravens?
I think so. I'll put it in the show notes, but I think it was something along those lines. I'm sure people are watching being like, yeah, that's it. Or
Yeah, or no, it's 9,999. It's something. It's something. I think that's ringing a bell. Lovely, lovely yarn, and the pattern that Kristen is making, I am so drawn to.
yeah, it's so pretty. And the first time we heard about it was knit night, which we also haven't talked about yet. We did a knit night the night before. We went to Stitches United, very impromptu. We just kind of texted Sophia and said, "Hey, I'm home," and
Yeah.
we threw something together very last minute, and it was great to be able to meet them face to face.
Yeah.
But so I'm trying to remember who it was that said they were going to knit it. I want to say it might
I
have been
think it was Lisa.
Elisa.
I think so.
I think you're right too. So she told us about that pattern during knit night, and I kind of I saw it and I was like, oh my god, it's so pretty! Like I can't wait to go to that booth tomorrow. And then Kristen saw it and fell in love with it, so now she's knitting it, and it's super cool.
It's so pretty. I wish I knew the name of the pattern.
I could tell you. Hang on.
I was going to say you do. I was going to say put the name at the bottom of the screen later.
Yeah, I'll add it in the show notes so that you guys will get linked to the pattern.
And as Kristen goes along with it, we will have her do a little guest appearance to show it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Didn't put a note. I thought I made a note. I'll put it on the screen.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I feel like I might want to make it for myself, which at first I thought, oh, it has kind of a young, not that I'm ancient, but a younger look. And sometimes I don't like that look. It doesn't fit me. But then the designer who was talking about it, I thought, well, if she likes it, I feel like it would work. So anyways, I'm so drawn to it. It's hard to I really want to start one.
You should. It's beautiful. You absolutely should. I think if you can find the colors and everything, it's very bohemian, relaxed. It's nothing form fitting. You're just basically doing a lot of.
Well, and it's those long armholes that I like that a lot of people. I think Sophia was like, no, 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 not me. And when I saw it, I thought, I don't. It's flowy. It's comfortable looking. I may have to copy Kristen. She's gonna be like, "No, you can't. You're so good. You're always like, no, you can." She'll be like, "No, you can't." No, she would never say that. But yeah, I loved it. So we stopped there. We went to so few booths.
I know. Well, another good one though was the Long Island Livestock Company, the one with all the llamas. It was super cool. They had tote bags, and that they feature the llamas that are on their farm, so pictures of them. So Kristen got one of those, and then we were chatting with the woman that ran the booth, and she was telling us about how she had a new. Oh, I wish I could remember if it was an alpaca or a llama. I want to say it was an alpaca though.
Oh, I would have said llama, but I don't know.
Maybe llama. Either way, they were waiting for one of their llamas or animals to give birth, and it finally did, and it's super
So
cool.
cool. I think I was so surprised of the fact. I was like, do you have someone there like with them? And it's such a natural thing. Like they can just have their babies without anyone around. I was like, oh my gosh, like
It's
somebody should be there petting it.
Yeah, it's so true though. I When she said that same thing, I was like, "Oh, that's right. Animals don't have hospitals that they go to for
Yeah.
like."
Or like little midwives.
It is so funny because I remember thinking the same exact thing as you were talking to her, like, "Oh, that's right. They can just do that on their own."
Yeah, I was like, the poor thing needs someone there. It's like, yeah, she was really, really nice too. And we totally forgot to talk about what we did before Stitches United. Totally left that part out.
What did we do?
Kristy Glass!
Oh, duh! I think we went somewhere.
No, no, no. And it made me think of it because she was saying how hopefully they've been trying to get together to do an interview. Her and that poor woman that we don't know the name.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what attracted us to the booth because Kristy had told us all about it. So when we came upon it, it was like, oh my gosh. And I have seen them at the New England Fiber Festival, which is up in Springfield in the fall.
Oh, cool. Is that the one that's in the Biggie grounds?
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
Super
So
cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, that's a good point. We started our weekend with an interview with Kristy Glass, which was so much fun. I feel like she was one of our long lost best friends from the very beginning.
It was so funny because the original weekend was intended that you were coming down. You were coming down early and we were going to get some work done and we were going to be ready for the interview and we were just going to get a lot done. And before I knew it, Ben was like, "Hey, see you Friday." And I thought, "Oh, he's so confused. I'm going to see him next Friday." And then he's like, "No, no, I'm coming home with Kristen," which of course I'm thrilled. And then Justin ended up coming down with them. So we ended up having a full house as Kristy was showing up to do the interview. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. We have such a full house. And she was so sweet. She's like, I'm interrupting you. I'm like, no, 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 no. No, it's fine.
Yeah.
But oh my gosh, she's exactly who we see on the screen, which I love that.
Mm-hmm. She's so go with the flow and like relaxed and chill, and it was so much fun. It was really so much fun.
It was so much fun. And we had said to her, like, I felt like I had a million questions for her.
Yeah.
You know, because I'm such a question girl.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I want to ask her everything. I would have killed to have just sat with her and knit all day with her.
Me too. If there wasn't something going on, I feel like we would have held her hostage.
Yeah, to say, no, now you can stay and we'll have dinner. And she was just so much fun to have and so easy to have. And so it's airing last we heard on May 10th, which is Wednesday, which we probably will, depending on your schedule, have this up before then so you will know. Otherwise, go back and watch it if you missed it.
Yeah. I'm hoping to have this done within 24 to 48 hours.
Sounds good. But yeah, it was a blast, a blast, a blast. And then we kept running into her at Stitches United,
Yeah.
which I love her.
Yeah. She's awesome. If anybody doesn't follow her or hasn't seen any of her interviews, you should definitely head over to her YouTube channel. I'll link it in our show notes, but she does such a good job. Like if you have an industry favorite, go over there and see if she's interviewed them because there's a pretty good chance that she has. And if she hasn't,
And more
right? Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, you go ahead.
I was going to say, if she hasn't, I'm sure that she would, like a suggestion. If you wanted to shoot it off to her, say, hey, I love this person, would love to see an interview done. I mean, there's no guarantee that she'll do it, but she's great at what she does. Great, great, great.
She's great at what she does. And don't just watch the ones of the people you know, watch them all. I watch them all. I love her interview style. I love her humor. I love her I just love her.
Yeah.
Super smart, super funny, and normal.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
So
she's
yeah.
amazing. So yes, May 10th. Keep an eye out, and I will, like I said, I'll link her YouTube channel in the notes so that you'll have an easy place to just click and go over there on the 10th.
Yeah. And as I'm saying, follow her. I wasn't following her.
I probably am not either. I'm so bad at that. I always just like type in the channel.
I noticed the other day it kept saying like follow her, and I'm like, I already follow her. Like, why is it bugging me? And I'm like, maybe it's on the wrong server. Like, I know I follow her. No, I didn't follow her. So sorry, Kristy. I'm the worst at that. But I watched them all, and now I am following her.
I'll go and make sure that I am too.
Make sure you are. Because she posts so many videos. Monday, Wednesday, Friday is her normal schedule.
Yeah. Ooh. Ooh. And as long as we're talking about Kristy Glass, should we talk about the book club a little bit?
Yes.
My book's in the bedroom. I'm going to play Molly really quickly and go get it. Yeah. Oh, I can't wait to start.
I'll just hold it while Chelsea's gone. So Miss Kristy Glass, we always call her Kristy Glass. She's not just Kristy, because she has a great name. Anyways, okay, I was just talking about Kristy.
Okay.
So yeah, we have joined her book club.
Yes.
I'm so excited about it. So go follow her. And honestly, my favorite part is her Instagram feed.
Yeah.
I look forward to her Instagram stories like I look forward to yours.
Mine?
I do. Like, it's like, Kristy has one up.
Yeah.
It's like, I love watching her stories. So she is forming a book club, and this is the first book. I am so excited to read it. Have you started?
I started the prologue. I'm almost done with the prologue. The prologue's kind of long, but I also started reading it when I was like laying in bed. So, but I got farther than I thought.
Well, and what I love about it, there's a couple things. Large print.
Amazing.
Room for journaling, note taking. I am a Kindle. Look, I feel like I'm off the screen. I am.
What?
I am a Kindle user. I typically buy books on my Kindle. I am craving real books lately. I'm not enjoying reading on my phone as much, but I read at night and it's the easiest way. And I was going to download this and I'm like, nope, I am ordering copies for both of us because I want to highlight to death. I want to take notes. I want to have a journal going about it. See my notes. It's and the feel. Let's talk about the feel.
It's like that matte. It's almost like this is gonna come off wrong, but like rubbery, like a really soft, rubbery feel.
I think it smells good too. I can't decide if it's the smell of a candle I just burned or the book.
It's definitely the book.
Anyways, I am so excited about reading this. I know a lot of people have bought it. A lot of people are joining her. I don't think she's really come up with the format yet, or I might have missed that video. It doesn't matter. I'm so excited about it.
Yeah.
I'm so
good.
And it's so interesting because now that I don't have as much time to knit because we're super busy, I can feel the effects on my body of not knitting.
Mm-hmm.
It's not good.
Mm-hmm.
So having said that, it is so important for me to make sure I have knitting time. It's not even because it's fun. It just like I was able to knit this afternoon because I finally got all the orders out of all our Etsy shop orders. And I literally, it's like I start here and I feel it going, like the stress level is up to here. And that's exaggerating, but you know what I mean. But I can slowly feel it lowering. I physically felt it this afternoon. Like I can feel myself like just,
yeah.
It's so amazing.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah. It's super cool. It's almost like for you, how you said you feel yourself kind of like decompressing. For me, it's almost like a balance. Like I can feel when the scales are tipping in the wrong way. And then as I start to knit, I like level out and I'm like, okay, now I'm back to who I should be. Like who I'm.
Yeah.
There it is. There we go. All right.
Every single time.
Is it 2 chirps per 1 hour?
Uh-huh.
No wonder. I'm always like, that's way more than 7, or that's way more than double.
Little bird comes out. He sings. We should be grateful he's healthy again.
I know. He was really sick for a while.
He was not well. He needed batteries. Mr. Romo. So anyways, oh my gosh, run and buy this book. Yes, love it, love it, love it. Watch for details of how she's going to, what she's going to do with it. I think it's terrific. Terrific.
Yeah, it's just good information for, I feel like, almost everyone, if not everyone that watches us. It's just good information to have. It's like self-awareness.
It's self-awareness, and it validates that we are just not knitting because we're like, oh, it's so fun. It is so fun. No question. But it does have so many health benefits to it. So it's critical that I knit every day.
Critical. I should bring this into work with me and just be like, you should read this. And then I'll just sit there knitting.
Yeah. I did get a lot of knitting in this weekend between the car ride. Okay, let's talk about this weekend.
Okay, so that was a recap of last week.
You have that book?
I do.
Okay, let's do it.
So this past weekend, we went to Nito to our Stephen West knitting class. And we got our books signed. Let me see if I can. Just like so much fun. And yeah, like look at him. He's such a stud.
We must talk to Fiona and say, when will you be having him back? Because it was such a fun, perfect weekend.
Perfect. Couldn't have said it better. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. And we went back and forth on the book signing piece of it, like, because we were feeling super lazy, like, oh, we could just curl up for the night, because it was Friday night before from 6:30 to 8:30. And we pushed through. We're like, no, we're going to go. And oh my gosh, we would have felt like we missed something huge if we didn't go.
I would have been.
Yeah. So, okay, you talk about where it was, first of all.
Okay, so yes, Fiona and all of the lovely ladies of Nito, which is in my but my current living town of Burlington, Vermont, they hosted it in their space, which is a beautiful space. I feel like I'm like a broken record when it comes to the 2 shops up here that I go to, but Nito's amazing. They both are amazing, but Nito held this in their spot, and it was beautiful and quaint and close, which was amazing.
And their classroom setup, I basically said that I will be moving to Vermont and using that space for my dye studio and an apartment.
Just send Bill.
They didn't really say that was okay, though.
We'll work on it. We'll chip away slowly but surely.
Chip. Oh my gosh, it was heaven.
It was amazing. So Friday night, like Mom said, we powered through. We got there. We showed up, and I forget who I was telling, but we get to the door, and you look through the entrance to their shop is like a door with a big window in it. So I remember just like turning the corner to go in the door, and there's Steven under one of their spotlights, like not intentionally, that's just where he was positioned. And he had this light pink but reflective jacket on, and it literally had him glowing.
Shimmery.
What's that?
It shimmered.
Yeah, it was a shimmery jacket. So when he was under the light, it was like I turned the corner and it was like the Stephen West angel was just standing there, like waiting for us. And it was just like the most perfect way to enter the room. So they had snacks, they had refreshments. We got to meet a lot of really great people. It almost felt to me, and Mom, let me know if you felt the same way, it felt like an intro into the next day. Like it was really nice to have met him the night before, because we walked in and a lot of the people had already met him. So it was like, hey, how you doing? Did you have a good night? Like instead of being like, hi, I'm so-and-so.
Yeah. And it allowed us all to go from like straight into work. You know what I mean? Like we went in and the class was run exactly how I love a class to be run. And I was so happy because we must have had that discussion like 5 times. I wonder how the class will be run because I'm a go in and get to work girl. Like I want to start working on the project. It's just like if I go anywhere to knit with someone, my intent is I'm going to be knitting.
The whole
And
time.
the whole time, like, yeah, we'll chat, but we're about knitting right now.
Yeah.
And it was like that. And we had already met a lot of the people. So even that piece was the same. Like, hey, how are you? And it was so perfect.
It was so good. Yeah, so much fun. And they have like these beautiful couches in the space. So we ended up on one of the couches, and I was on there was like a carpet in front, and I ended up on the ground with like all my yarn around me, and you the same thing like on the couch. So it was like this just like yarn explosion all over the tables and the ground and the couch, and it was super cool. And he was just like walking around and showing us samples and like kind of explaining the process behind what he does and his color theory, and he was getting really involved in everyone's projects. Like he would just come around and kind of look at your palette and kind of pair things together that might have been like on the opposite side of your pile or whatever. He would see from across your expansive collection of yarn like, oh no, these two can work together in a way that I'm sure you haven't thought of yet. And he just had so much advice to offer, and like he's a genius. He is truly a genius. Like we've said that before, but now having spent time with him, completely validated.
He's a brilliant colorist, I have to say. I was so happy that we were able to experience, I felt like we were experiencing a soft-spoken, which a lot of people talk about that part of him. He was he's very funny and animated, but at the same time, he's kind of reserved in another way.
Oh.
Like when he's working with people, he's a little more reserved. And then when he starts showing his things is when his real great sense of humor comes through, and he's a little more like he's a dancer just by the way he moves. And I love how he incorporates that.
Yeah.
Like he didn't give up one for the other. He incorporated it, which is super cool. I loved him.
Mm-hmm. He was so...
Again.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
No, you can go.
I was going to say, I wanted to ask him a million trillion questions. I have this thing where I just am so curious. When I meet anybody, I always have a million questions.
That's good, though. I feel like that, because I kind of felt the same way, but then at the same time, every time there was like a pause in conversation when I was talking to him, I was like,
well,
what do I say?
I kind of felt like I wanted to soak it all in, too. Didn't you feel that way? Because let's say 3 hours was like 3 minutes.
Literally. And I thought it was going to be really long. I thought by the end of it, I was going to be ready to pack up and go. The first time I looked down at my clock, so our session ran from 11 to 2. The first time I looked down at the clock, it was like 1:15, and I thought only like an hour had gone by. So my heart stopped. I was like, oh my God.
I know. I wanted to savor every second of it.
Yeah.
So the bottom line is, whenever you have an opportunity, take it.
Yeah.
Take it. And I loved the setting we were in. I loved everything about it. I loved it. And it was the first time I had actually met Fiona, which, oh my gosh, love her.
Yeah.
Caitlin, we've seen many times when we're there. It was heaven.
It was amazing. And I don't know. It takes a very special person to inspire me to the level at which he inspired me. Like it's only happened a handful of times in my life. And like there aren't any words for it, because I left with like hope, like as a dancer and now a fiber artist, to see him like collaborate and combine the two so successfully. I was like, well, this is an option. Like, yeah. I never in a million years would have thought that it was an option. And now I'm like, how can I make it happen? Like, how can I make that happen for me? Because I see what he's doing, and I see like I don't even know how to describe it, but I can see the click inside of him where like everything makes sense and everything is tied together. And I feel like I know what I want to be going towards.
Mm-hmm. Super cool. I know. I think you need to reach out and see if there's anything on the East Coast that he will be participating in like that, because it's amazing. It's amazing. And to be able to do what he loves and make a living doing what he loves, that's a gift.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that way about what we're doing now too, but
Mm-hmm.
he's on another planet, as far as, not planet, but another
Echelon.
10 level.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there's no comparison.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, like Mom said, if you get the opportunity, do yourself a favor and go spend some time in his presence. It will be amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, and even if you say, like, I was always like, the really bright colors, I like them, but I don't know if it's for me. And I loved how it was for you, like it works for you. And now I'm all about it. All about it, because it's not just bright colors. It's so much more than that. It's so much more than that when you look closely.
Hmm? He'll get
But
you. He will educate you in that way where it's like, oh my God, it makes sense now.
yeah, yeah, we could go on for the entire podcast of our love of Stephen West at the moment.
We could. But we won't. We'll
But
save you.
we won't. We won't. So thank you, Nito. Please invite him back.
Please.
Next month, maybe the month after.
Maybe.
Who knows? Yeah, because it was such an amazing experience. So thank you, ladies. You are all the very best.
Yes.
And then we did get to run to Must Love Yarn, and I got to see Angela, who I never get to see Angela. I usually get to see Kelly. So Angela, I loved that we got to see you.
Yes, it was so much fun seeing Ange, and we had to actually like spend a little bit of time with her too because we had some time to kill before we went to the class. So that was really fun too. We got to like chit chat with her. I bought a little bit of yarn. You bought a bunch of needles.
A bunch of needles, because they have higher sharps. I couldn't stop. Every time she started to, I'm like, I'll grab one more wire. I think I need one more wire. So I got wires galore for my higher interchangeable tips. I've been having. Oh, we do need to look at what I bought at Nito too.
Yes. Is Dad not home?
He's upstairs working still. We are burning the midnight oils here lately. It's not good.
Not good.
But I'm going to show you now.
Okay.
We're totally out of order, but let's go for it. I got Shelter because I love that Nito has Brooklyn Tweed and Quince & Co. and lots of other good ones, but these two are two of my favorites. They also have Jill Draper, I'm pretty sure.
I think they do too.
And Atosh and
Magpie Fibers.
Magpie Fibers. They're friends with her, right? I think that's what they were saying. Okay, so I bought Shelter. I bought, I think, 6 skeins because I am making, hold on, Dad, for Christmas. I hope I didn't put the picture on because I was afraid he would see it. I put it on the back. So it's I think it's called Quay, Quay.
Yep.
Scarf for Christmas.
By Jared Flood. It's beautiful.
I thought he was knocking. He's not. By Jared Flood. It is gorgeous. Now, I would be super smart and just start it and work on it. I'm really anxious to start it. I did wind. Look I have 4 skeins in there. This one there. This one with no tag. They're all over the place. I'm going to lose them.
We have so many project bags.
I know. What is it with me and project bags? I'm not good at project bags.
That's okay.
I'm not. I'm just not good at it. But I have them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I got that at Nito.
I love it. So, and I got a couple of skeins I can show you if I can find them. They're already.
For what you bought there.
You'll remember once I show you. So I got 2 Madeline Tosh skeins of yarn there.
Wasn't this at Must Love? Was this at Nito?
Must Love. No, at Must Love.
Oh, okay.
I didn't get anything at Nito this time because I didn't find the time to shop at Nito.
I know. And I was thinking about it. Like, okay, so when we come up in 2 weeks for the trunk show, I've got to get to Nito because I need some Quince & Co. I need a sewing pattern and I need material.
I'm with you. We'll do that.
I don't know how, when, where, why, how.
We're gonna figure it out.
Darn it.
Can't find the tags for these, but I don't know. It's Madeline. Huh?
I said Mad Tosh. Love it.
Mad Tosh. If I can find the tags, I'll put the colorways on the bottom of the screen. But
so is that going to be, now here we went on and on about Mr. Stephen West and didn't even show our projects.
I figured that would come next after this.
Okay.
But yes, I purchased these with the intent that these would be a part of my project, which they still might be because it's going to be a very large project. So yeah, they were just skeins that I thought were beautiful and could go well together. And also because we went to Stephen West. A little mohair.
Yeah. I love that color. I have decided, and it was so not painful, but a little bit of a painful process because I started out with a really strong mohair and it overtook my yarn and it didn't look good. I really think that is the value, a very light value when you mix it, because then it's so subtle and it lets those great like indie dyed yarns pop through their colors.
Yeah. The lighter, like you were saying, it acts as more of a filter than an addition, when it's lighter like this. Yeah.
And this is light.
Yes.
Yeah, it's the value. It's not the color, it's the value. And this is a pretty light. It looks way darker up there. Everyone's like, "Really, Sue? That's like a dark."
Well,
it's not real life.
Let's show what we worked on so that way people can get an idea
Yes.
for what these look like worked in with the yarns.
I just have one gripe about the project. All the ends are driving me crazy, and they have to be there.
They have to be there. So just to preface this, as we're holding up our patterns, we both decided to make the Marled Magic. And so oh, go ahead.
I'm in love.
Isn't it the best part? You might have it backwards. No, maybe not.
I do.
You do? Yeah. So this is section 1, and this Marled Magic pattern came out as a mystery knit along this year. I've already knit one. I love it. But so we both have mohair in these. It's kind of, I don't know if you can tell. You can kind of tell by the halo. And so see how Mom's mohair looked a little bit darker when she was holding up the ball, but now look at it as it works with those colors. You can barely tell.
See it. Halo. You can't even see it. It just grew. Oh my gosh, I love it. I love it.
So talk about, because I've already talked about the pattern because I already made one. Tell me how you're feeling.
So what I did was, and you know what? I kind of am not good at gathering colors. I tend to do one and then I look through my pile, grab the next one. I work off of colors a lot of times. Mm-hmm. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 colors in here. 6 color changes.
Yep.
And it's so interesting because these colors are killing me. They're so gorgeous.
Yeah.
Like they're gorgeous. Mm-hmm. Uh-oh, you froze.
Yeah, you're
back.
Okay, go
ahead. So am I moving it too fast? Can you see it?
A little bit. It's doing that funky thing like it did last time where like you look really grainy, but I think it'll be fine.
I do too. So what I thought, and I'm just going to say this and you can speak more about it. I thought it was genius how he has now developed a sweater using the exact same first 4 steps and then adding on to it. So I can't decide. I can't decide if I'm going to keep it as a shawl Oh, I just can't even take my eyes off of this
Isn't it crazy?
because I can't believe those colors. I just can't believe them. It's crazy. Um, so I am not sure whether or not I will. And at the end, we should insert the pictures or at some point of you wearing the sweater and the dress because, oh my goodness. So I love that I have that option
Yeah.
and I don't have to make up my mind today.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, so what Mom's talking about is the whole reason that I decided to cast on a second Marled Magic. Stephen was nice enough and generous enough to share with us some upcoming patterns that are going to be released. I think this week.
This week or this month? I'm so bad at that.
I don't remember which one.
It might be this week.
I know he had some that were coming out this week, and then he also had more coming out next month. So I don't want to give too much away because I don't know how he's rolling. Uh-oh. Can you hear me? Oh. Can you hear me?
Yes, you're going really fast. It's like catching. It's really weird, but I think it'll work out. Don't worry.
Okay. So yeah, I don't know how he's anticipating rolling this out. I haven't seen anything on his Instagram, so I don't want to put too much out
That's true.
him approving it. But
Yeah, I totally agree. I agree. I probably wouldn't put, now that I think back on that, he hasn't released them, so we probably shouldn't put them up yet.
yeah, so I won't put the pictures up just because I want to respect his space. But I think it's safe for us to share that he is going to be releasing new patterns. I think he's put out teasers. And it will,
Yeah.
one of them is going to be built off of the Marled Magic, the first 4 sections of the Marled Magic. So that's super exciting. So anybody that didn't already know, get excited because it's super cool.
Yeah, and get started with another Marled Magic shawl.
Totally. Yeah. If you liked the shawl, you will I'm anticipating that you will love the sweater because I did. And cast one on. Play with new colors, play with new texture.
Yeah, I can't believe how much I'm enjoying it. I really didn't anticipate that. I just wanted the experience. I wasn't sure I was going to really like fall in love. But having said that, then when I saw yours, I was like, darn it, I need to make that. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, it's because, and I think this is like all of his patterns, and I know I've said this before, because it's really just like painting with yarn. So I feel like it also must tap into that part of your brain too, where it's like you get to play with the color and you get to play with texture. You get to kind of tap into your fine art skills and apply them to the fiber artist in you.
And you get to play.
Yeah.
And like he went on a lot about this. If it doesn't feel right, don't do it.
Yeah.
Like change it. And I'm a big one about that actual feeling that something works and doesn't work. That I've talked about that a long time ago on my Periscopes is, and that's like when I was doing that darker color, I was like, no, it's not working. And I kept pushing it going, no, it's not working. It's like, when are you going to learn? Just stop.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, he talks about that. And he's just such a free to be, like, just, if you don't like it or you're bored, just go into, or you want to start something new, start it.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. It's, again, we could go on for days and days and months and years and years.
I know. Needless to say, we had a fantastic weekend.
Yes. Fantastic. And so yeah. So these are some of our new cast-ons. We can add this into the knitting part. Our Marled Magic.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think we talked a lot about the pattern. It's super fun. It's all marled, so you're holding 2 strands together for anybody that didn't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. So
I picked it up because this afternoon I had time to knit, and I almost picked it up so I could get started on the next section, and I didn't let myself.
Are you ready for the next section?
I could have been if I knit this afternoon on that.
I know. I'm like you. I keep going to pick it up, but I want to finish that parachute first.
Which we need to show and talk about.
Should I do that next?
Yeah. Let's just go right into, I only have one finished object that I didn't even finish. You're not as sharp as a tack tonight, honey. Come on.
I have a very bad headache.
I know. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
But also, I'm never really sharp as a tack.
It's it's one of your finished objects that I have.
Oh, yes. Yes, yes, yes.
Oh my gosh, hold that up.
Okay. So I'm knitting a parachute, which is this is the Stephen West show today. I'm sorry, you guys.
Sure.
This is a parachute, and it's one of his tank top patterns. I'll put a picture, like one of his stock pictures, in there. This is the front of it, and I am making it with all Legacy Fiber Arts yarn because we own a freaking yarn company. Never knit with our yarn.
No, this is how we talk about it now. We own a teeny tiny yarn empire.
Teeny tiny yarn empire, and we don't ever knit with it.
I know. I have two right here.
Yeah. So this is going to be what I wear. I am hoping and praying that I finish it by May 20th because I want to be able to wear it to our trunk show so that people will be able to kind of really get a good look at what some of our colorways knit up to. So this is Jess from the Men of Stars Hollow collection. And these are all in our steel toe base. This is Elephant Ears, which is from our neutral collection. Neutrals, right?
Yep.
Neutrals. And then this, the purple with the green, is Franny's Pansies, which we haven't really released officially yet. And then the green here is I don't think we have a name for this one either.
No, it's kind of part of the Legacy Fade kit.
Yeah. So
it's just like a tonal. It's not a solid. It's a tonal. It's got a lot of different variations.
It's beautiful. And so Legacy, I'm calling it the Legacy.
Legacy. Now, does the pattern have it fade like that, or did you create that fade?
The way he writes it, as he typically does, is he gives you the pattern and he says, grab as many colors as you want. He has it in his sample. I'll put the picture again up here, where it's just like a bunch of different stripes. There's no rhyme or reason to them. It's just all different color play. Same thing with the back. So I did.
You created that. Yeah, it works really well.
I really like the way it came out. I'm pretty excited about it.
I cannot wait to see. You whipped that piece up.
I hope I finish it. I hope I finish it. I'll show you. I started the back last night right after I finished the front. So this is the top of the back, and I've started fading in Jess.
So then for the back, it goes horizontal lines instead of vertical?
Correct.
Darn it, I love this.
I'm the minute we're done here, I'm picking this up and just going.
I know.
So yeah. So all of our steel toe bases, I'm so excited to have a piece that is all of our yarn, and not to mention the pattern that I will live in.
I think it's hysterical because I am working on the So Faded, and it's almost the exact palette.
Show it.
Almost.
Okay.
So, and these kits are all leaving the house. Well, again, depending on when this goes up. On Tuesday, they are leaving all the faded kits, and they're all, because of the weight of them, they're all priority mail, so you should get them very quickly. So,
oh my God. So pretty.
I keep telling you, I think I like it. I think I love it. I am a more classic knit look when it comes to a sweater because you invest so much time in a sweater, and this isn't classic enough for me. I think I'm going to really enjoy it. Am I going to be wearing it in 10 years? Probably not. Will I be wearing my stonecutter in 10 years? Absolutely. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be buried in it. So maybe even, I've still got a long life ahead of me. There's a lot of longevity for women in my family.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
Don't want to break that.
So you never know what other sweaters you're going to knit. You might not want to commit to the stonecutter right now.
I know. But do you know what I mean by that super classic, never goes out of style look? Having said this, I think this is adorable. I love a fingering weight sweater. I don't know if it's going to be super big, but I don't want it to be tight at all. I am not a tight sweater wearer at all.
Same.
I think I like it by tonight if I can stay awake. I was up super early this morning, so the chance of that happening might not be.
I'm so excited to see it. So where do you want it to fall? Like your waist?
No, it'll be below my. I'm kind of a hip, like onto my hips. I think I did make some changes. I'm not going to like I'm going to carry this through the whole sleeve. I'm not doing the cap look. I say that I'd really rather be doing just stockinette all the way down. I don't know. I'm not committing to anything at this point. I love it. I do. I love it. I just don't know if I'll love it in 5 years.
But you know what? When you fall out of love with it, I will take it and I will wear
You'll take it. Exactly. And it's a great pattern. I really do like it a lot.
I think once it's done and if it fits the way you want it to fit, you will love it.
I do. I think I will probably wear it out before the 5 years gets done because it's also, I feel like almost a summer night sweater. I really do. I feel like it's super light. I don't know. I may do 3/4 length sleeve. I don't know.
Honestly, that's what I was, as you were saying, it's a summer night sweater. That's what I was picturing. Like not tight quarter length sleeves. Like I'm picturing like loose flowing quarter length sleeves.
Mm-hmm. And it is loose at this point. So I'm going between wanting to get the collar on to see how it really fits and getting to the lime green.
I would get to the lime green.
But having said that, this worked up super fast.
You did fly through that.
Like we podcasted 2 weeks ago. I hadn't even started this. I feel like this is a week. But driving 4 hours in a car, I thought, oh, darn it, I shouldn't have given Chelsea the green. I'm going to need it.
No.
Not even close. I did like 4 hours was like 2 inches only.
Well, it's a lot of stitches too, though.
A lot of stitches, size 4 needle, fingering weight. It's all excuses. Let's just say it. You know, knit 3 rows, check your phone. Knit 2 rows, check your phone again.
I know.
It's terrible.
I struggle with that sometimes. It totally depends on the project I have for that drive, but I do literally the exact same thing as you.
Yeah, and as much as I'm loving the mindless, I'm craving a little bit of a challenge. I'm doing way too many mindless things right now where I want to get into the nitty gritty of some, like I've got to get back to your stonecutter because fall will be here. I know. And that sweater, it's flying off my needles. I work on it for like 2 days and I'm like, whoa, I'm flying. Then I put it down for 2 months.
Would it be weird if I was buried in my stonecutter like you?
Together? No, we're not going to be buried together. It'll be a family tradition.
Oh.
In the wheels, the stonecutter. That's really bad. That's so inappropriate.
So inappropriate.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, so I really got a lot done.
You did.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
That and I've really been a monogamous knitter lately. You talked about that. I have to admit, because my time is more limited, I want to finish something. And if you don't have as much time as I used to have, it's hard to finish something if you're working on 10 things.
Yep. And you don't feel like you're ever making any forward movement with anything. It's like 3 rows on a sock. Okay, that didn't really do much. 3 rows on a sweater. That didn't really do much. And it's like yeah, exactly.
It just feels like I'm just keep walking into a wall and I'm not getting through it. Like socks, I'm pathetic when it comes to socks right now. I'm working on the ones with your yarn, really, this big. A monkey sock I can practically make in a day. This much.
It's okay. I feel like we don't have sock juju right now. I feel like we're both very sweater oriented. Like
I'm very sweater orientated. Of course, because it's summer. Why would you work on a sweater in the winter?
This happened to me last summer too. I can't remember if it did for you or not, but I remember just like, I didn't want to work on socks.
No, I want to work on sweaters like crazy.
Yeah.
I don't really want to work on shawls except for having gone to that class, I want to make every pattern. Okay, let's talk. I'm sorry. I'm only going to regress. Is that what I call it? Regress? One.
Anyway.
Digress.
I don't know.
I don't know. Let's cut that part out. We don't even know English. Okay, that's bad.
I know exactly which one you're looking for. We need to knit this together.
Together. Maybe we could go on summer vacation together.
Yes.
To an island with all our yarn.
Yes.
Darn it, Justin, you're invited. He's like, really?
He has his headphones in now.
Okay, never mind. He's not invited then.
Shh.
Okay. Do you have any other works in progress? Because I haven't finished object.
I don't. I could show my little tassels, but they don't really.
You must show that.
So, okay. So after we met Stephen West on Friday night, I believe it was Caitlin. I was talking with her and she was like, "Oh, did you bring your Marled Magic?" And I was like, "I didn't. It's not done yet. I don't have any of the ends woven in." Oh. Another reason 3,958 that we love Stephen West. He was showing his samples. Let's just say probably 50% of them, the ends were not woven in. And at one point he said, he was like talking to us and like showing us one of his samples that the ends weren't woven in. And he goes, "Ends, you can weave them or you can leave them." Genius! Like, yes, finally somebody validating that I can leave my unwoven ends unwoven. So I left them. And I instead created tassels that very same night so that I could wear it to the class the next day.
I couldn't believe that you actually went home and made those tassels. Oh my gosh, I love that. I love that.
Aren't they fun?
And they're gorgeous.
Thank you. He has a great.
It's so funny because you're sitting on the floor. You're like, "So how do you make tassels?"
But he has a good YouTube video. I remembered, like, as I was asking you and just, like, yarn everywhere.
You were literally cutting and draping, and you're like, "So how do I do this?"
Instead of spending that time weaving in my ends, I decided to make more of them. So anyway.
Oh my gosh, I love that. I love it. I love it. I love it. Darn it. I love it way too much. Okay. I have a finished object.
Okay, show your finished object.
Okay. So my dream has always been for you to make me something. And I knew someday you would, but I never wanted to pressure you. Like, oh no, because I know, like, knitting is fun. We don't need pressure. So for Mother's Day, no, Mother's Day has not happened, but Chelsea has a serious problem like me. Like, can I give you your Mother's Day gift now? Which, honestly, I'm not going to see you, so it was very appropriate. Right?
I almost did it the weekend before when I came home, and then I was like, oh, I guess I'll go a little closer to Mom.
I know. So, oh my gosh, I really do believe that this is my newest, favoritist thing I own.
Yay! I'm so glad.
So, of course, I showed it on Paris. Oh my gosh. So, worsted weight, Quince & Co. You can't even imagine the squish factor is so huge. And it's all the pattern.
Yeah.
So, it's completely cabled. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Worsted weight, which I love. Okay, so literally, this is the new cream vest.
Yay! I replaced the cream vest.
Love this. So, Andrea Mowry. Okay, because they were asking me, and I'm like, I don't know. I cannot believe you did this. It's all cabled.
It was a labor of love.
I'm telling you, like, I could just picture you with a cable needle and some words flying out of your mouth, and the cable needle stuck here, like.
Well, the best part was I picked out the pattern not knowing that it was all cabled.
It's like honeycomb.
I know. And so I literally started the first row and like I was like, "Oh, pick up a cable needle." Okay. Like that's cool. There's a cable in here. Every single stitch was a cable.
It's to die for. And then you could see the sense of relief because then Justin got home. I was like, Justin, thank you so much for my Mother's Day gift. And he was kind of like, oh, thank God, it's finally like out of here. Like Chelsea has almost showed that like a million times.
Well,
you could tell he was totally stressed.
and at Stitches United, there was something that we were looking at, and Kristen almost let it slip too because there was a very similar stitch in something, and she was like, "Oh, Chelsea, that's like, oh," and she was like, "I almost let it slip." I was like, "Me too."
I didn't even notice because I had no clue. No clue. The color, I am in heaven.
I'm so happy. I'm glad you like the color because it was hard choosing.
Well, if you're ever in doubt, gray.
Gray. Okay.
It's my favorite. I mean, I love gray. Gray is my black.
Yeah.
It really is. So, it's going to kill me to wait until fall to wear this. I almost put it on today because I have the heat on right now. I am starting to get a little warm.
You have worst.
I'm a little like, whoa, it's getting warm in here because I shut the door. But it is chilly. Unfortunately, I think I would look ridiculous if I had this on, but I don't care. I love it.
I'm so glad.
I absolutely love it.
I'm so glad you.
Yes. Yeah. So thank you. And I love the size. It's big without being gigantic.
Yeah.
And it's blocked beautifully, by the way.
Thank you. That was tough. I was nervous because I didn't have T-pins or anything, but it blocked pretty easily, I will say.
It looks perfect. You know what? A lot of times I don't think you need T-pins. You like press with your hands. Because sometimes when you use pins, it creates little scallops, I feel like.
Yeah. So actually, I shouldn't say that. I also used my wires because I didn't have pins. So I could hear you in my head saying, just use your hands and flatten it because you've showed me that so many times. But then on the edges, I had the wires so that the edges stayed straight.
I do not even know how to use wires.
I just make it up.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, I have no clue.
Yeah, that's okay.
No clue whatsoever. So, and happy Mother's Day to our viewers.
Yes, happy Mother's Day, everybody. It's
this weekend.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like I've already celebrated.
I know. I wish we were going to be there with you.
It's okay. I really, especially since Ben moved and now with you guys up there, I don't zero in on the date of anything. Like, as long as we can all be together at one point, we can celebrate at that point.
Yeah.
And we went out for barbecue.
It was so good. I took a video of the table when the food arrived. I'm going to insert it either at the end or right now. Probably at the end, though.
Because what did we get? What was it called?
It was called the family. Thank you. Yep. It was called the family reunion. So at first it came, and I feel like everybody had the same thought of,
like, really? We have nowhere near enough food.
It was so much food.
It really wasn't, but it was. But like, really, truly, we all ate so little when you look at it. But barbecue is super rich. And let's say the cornbread. I could have eaten 3 baskets myself.
And it was a honey butter.
I never take the last of anything. I was like, anybody want this? You all looked at me like, really? I've never heard you say that. You all were like, eat it. It was so funny.
Yeah.
So funny. So, yeah, so we were able to have, minus Jacob, which I hated, but he will celebrate probably with us this Sunday. He will probably just lavish me with gifts and cook me meals.
You probably have a 50-person party, just like
he's probably planned. He probably took all last weekend to plan it.
Pretty sure.
So yeah, I don't get really hung up on the actual day as long as we've had something.
You know what I was just picturing? I was just picturing the Christmas that Jake wrapped your gift in a blanket.
Might have even been a sheet.
I was picturing him like in my head, like planning a huge, lavish, like beautiful party, and then like the reality of it, of bringing down an Afghan with a present in the middle of it.
Gotta love them.
Expectation versus reality.
Yeah. Ground level, Sue. Ground. No, but remember last year for Father's Day, he made Dad, because I think I was up with you. It was when Justin was gone. He made him a lamb dinner.
Oh, he did. You're right.
It was huge. I don't like lamb, so I'm like, please do it. And it was a fantastic dinner. He made him a huge dinner for Father's Day. Just the two of them. That was very nice.
Yeah.
I hope he doesn't make me a lamb dinner.
Maybe put a request in now for not
No lamb. Yeah, so we will probably spend part of the day with Graham. Who knows? I actually think Dad will probably cook for Graham and I, which will be lovely. It'll be lovely. And then, let's face it, we can celebrate again the weekend after when we come up.
I love double.
Justin's like, really? That quick? 2 weeks?
It's going to be so fun.
It is. That's going to be another super busy weekend, though.
Yeah, in a good way.
In a good way. Really good way. So, yeah. So, what? I feel like we now have gone on and on. So, what else do you have?
I would just say, if you don't have any more knitting, that we should remind them about the trunk show. Maybe show the new colorways that I dyed up, and then sign.
Yeah. Absolutely. Show those colorways because they're so exciting.
So exciting. A lot of them don't have names yet, but so the trunk show that we're talking about, if you have not tuned in previously, we were doing a trunk show for the Legacy Fiber Arts yarn at Must Love Yarn in are they in Burlington or Shelburne?
Shelburne.
In Shelburne, Vermont.
Yeah.
May 20th at 1 o'clock. So if you're interested in getting some yarn and visiting a beautiful spot in the country, come visit us.
And when we say Shelburne, it's so close to Burlington that you wouldn't know the difference.
Yeah.
If you're like, darn, I would have rather gone to Burlington, you're really going to be in Burlington.
Yeah. You're like right, it's right on the line. Okay, so I dyed up a few new colors this weekend. I don't know, they're really loosely skeined up. Like I haven't really cleaned them up or anything, but I figured this is the last one before we have the trunk show. So anyway.
It's actually better. Sorry, I had to read that. It's sometimes it's better to see the color when they're loose, so it's good.
Very true.
I love this.
So this one is called Somewhere Over, because I dyed it, and it reminded me it's almost all the colors of the rainbow, which I liked. There's orange in there too. But anyway, so Somewhere Over. This one does not have a name yet, but it's just a pale pink with some, yeah, you can kind of see it better there, with some highlighter yellow, and then like a deeper green speckle with a blush pink. And this is what's that?
I just love it.
You. And this is on the Stellina base. I don't know if you can tell, kind of losing light, but let me see. This one is going to be called, I think, Cowabunga, because it reminds me of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And this is on a singles base, which we're newly introducing at the trunk show. Again, I feel like it might be getting there.
I feel like it's a pretty good representation.
Yeah. So that's Cowabunga, I think. This one, I'm not sure what the name is going to be called yet, but it's kind of a complementary colorway to this, if you wanted to pair it together. But yeah, it's just like a bright orange tonal with some electric green speckles in there and some orange speckles as well.
Love it.
Thank you. And then I have this guy, which again, no color name yet, but this has like an electric pink in there with the same electric green theme that I've been kind of going with for the singles. Got some orange built in with some speckles.
And now I want to dye some singles.
They're fun. They're really fun.
Do you know what the yardage is on that?
I believe 400.
Oh, decent yardage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the very last one, I think we're going to call this Jumpin' Jellyfish, but I'm not 100% yet. And this is on our steel toe base.
Sorry, I feel like someone's knocking and it's Isabel like thumping.
Oh, I was going to say I definitely heard a knock too.
I'm like, I think it's Isabel like itching.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
So those are the colorways that I made up. There's not going to be a ton of each. Like there's only two. There's only going to be two of these, five of these, four of each of these, and I think two of these. So there's not going to be a ton of each colorway, but I will be recreating them over and over again for like Etsy updates and stuff like that.
Yeah. And that is the piece, is once they go out there, we'll start putting that. We just kind of wanted to save them for that initial. And then I will probably be coming up with about 4 standalone colorways, like not with a theme or anything. And then we will show up with a lot of our our everyday yarns that we have, our neutrals, minis, hopefully lots of minis. So starting tomorrow, I am full force trunk show. I keep wanting to call it trade show, trunk show mindset. So, and I will have probably cashmere based glitzy. I ordered a lot of the gold stellina. I am in love with the gold stellina right now. I don't know why. All of a sudden, I went from the silver and I made that shift and I love it. I think I will have both. And then I've got some DK, probably about 30 skeins of DK. We will have a significant amount of yarn there.
Yes. Yep. Because I also have some cashmere still to dye up DK, and then DK singles as well. So
Can't wait to see that. Can't wait to see that. I think when we do the DK, we should do at least 4 for a colorway in case someone wants it for like a sweater quantities. I kind of want to put it out there, but I'm afraid to because I might not be able to do it. But if you know you're going and you want a sweater's quantity of something, I'm not sure that I could fulfill it, but you could put a bug in my ear and I could try, kind of thing. I just can't guarantee anything. Or if you have colorways you're interested in and you're going to be there, you'd have to put the bug in my ear really soon, though.
Yeah.
So that works.
Definitely.
Yeah, so it's exciting. We are so busy right now, and it's all good. We've got a handful of wholesale shops carrying our yarns right now. Not wholesale shops, retail shops, but they're wholesale accounts. We've got a handful of those. I've got 2 more to fill this week, too. So super exciting. No complaints.
Yeah.
At all.
Super fun. So, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it, I think.
That's it. We're losing light.
I was going to say.
Are you losing light? I feel like we're losing light.
I'm losing light, but you can. Oh, you're frozen.
Oh, no, you were frozen.
Okay. It's time to sign off.
It is. I feel like we're starting to get like dark and fuzzy, and hopefully everything came through. So yeah.
If you want to know any details about anything that we talked about, go into the down bar. I have been doing show notes pretty religiously lately with active links. So yeah, that should answer any of your questions. It'll have all of our information down there. Yeah. So that's it for this week, I think.
That's it. And I don't think we'll be back till after the trunk show, which will be fun. We'll have a lot more to talk about more Vermont adventures.
Yes. Hopefully we'll be able to get to maybe the farmer's market next time. We'll see.
Yes. And for anyone traveling for the trunk show, depending on when you come in.
Yeah.
Friday night food truck, Saturday morning
farmer's market.
Mm-hmm. Those are 2 of my favorite things always.
Yep. They're the highlights of the summer in Burlington for me, for sure.
Yeah. I think we're getting there in time for food trucks.
Can't wait.
I know. I can't wait either. It's in like 1 more week.
I know. We can't think about it.
No.
Too much to do.
Too much to do.
All right, everybody. Well, to anybody, I didn't say this at the beginning, but to anybody checking us out for the first time, hopefully you enjoyed. If you do, please head down and either subscribe or give us a thumbs up. If you did not enjoy us, certainly just move right along. And to our returning viewers, thank you so much for coming back and spending time with us. We so appreciate you and your support and your love.
Absolutely. And thank you for all that did visit with us at this past weekend. We did have several of our viewers that we got to spend some time with. So Thank you for that. We forgot that part.
Yes. Yes, for people at the Trunk Show and for people at Stitches United. It was so great meeting.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a good note to send everybody off on. We love you and thank you, and it was great meeting you.
Thank you. Needles up.
Until next time.
Until next time.
Needle. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.